John Jasper started EPC in 1992. He saw a need in the gas processing industry, and he thought that he could meet that need.
One of the reasons we went through our restructuring in 2016 from EPC to Jasper Ventures Incorporated is it was very important for us to take the reputation that our dad has built and to be able to carry that on and to carry that name on.
When we went to Daddy's 25th anniversary party, I was really blown away by what Jasper Ventures has become.
Well, I didn't even have any idea that I was going to start a company. Jasper Ventures has really just taken off, and it's just been amazing. It's been unbelievable, actually. My parents were great. I couldn't have asked for a better family life growing up. It was just idyllic type growing up as a child, being in Boy Scouts, going to church, going to camp. My parents built a small cabin on a lake that we would go to just about every weekend during the summertime. We just had a great time growing up. Most of my schooling was in Paris, Kentucky. My wife and I went to the same high school, and then when we both went to college, we started dating at the end of our freshman year in college, and just seemed like a fun type person. The Chevy is part of the family. I bought it as my first car when I was in my junior year in college. It was love at first sight. My wife and I were already dating, and we had a lot of dates in that car. I stopped driving it after our second child was born. Yeah, I didn't do anything to it over the years. It primarily collected dust.
After we'd been married a year, and we came to Texas with Humble Oil and Refining Company, which is now Exxon. Carrie Ann she was the first and always been the boss. Then Janie, my second one, came around. She was the peacemaker. And then Brent came. He held everything together, but they've grown up to be best friends.
If anybody was in the oil and gas industry in the 80s, they remember when the bottom fell out.
It was pretty bad. We went from having a lease on 50,000 square feet of office space to basically having no work in a period of just a few months. It was devastating. You remember the effects and what it did to your family and what it does to your projections on what you're going to do with the rest of your life. Well, I spent about a year in San Antonio working for a different type of industry.
And then he got hired here by Petrofac, which was a really good company he had worked for in consulting.
Left in March of '92 and started a company called Engineering, Procurement Construction.
He said, we'll call it EPC.
Most of the first projects we didn't really make any money on them. We just, we made enough money to keep our heads above water. And, the industry was really pretty dead from '92 until about 2005 or 2006. And that's when we started actually getting some projects that we can make some money on. In 2005, I was diagnosed with a terminal brain cancer. And my wife said, "What's on your bucket list?" I said, "Just one thing." I said, "I want to get that car running." So we did over a period of 2 years, we did a full restoration on it. And it runs and just like it did 50 years ago.
It was hard when we first started. I remember there were years that I was like, why are we doing this? Why doesn't Daddy just go work for a company? But now that I'm older, I understand it's because a lot of times the people that you work for don't have the integrity that you have.
He's seen a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And yet he stuck it out. He felt like he had a vision. He also felt like he could give people a better place to work than the larger companies that he had worked for. So when Dad approached me in 2011 about joining the family business, that I really wasn't sure about working for a small company. The more we talked about what his needs were, I realized that I had the skill set that could help him. It hit me that I was going to have an opportunity to do something that I would have never imagined. I was going to get to sit across the hall from my dad every single day and work with him.
I wanted to join the family business because I saw that there was a need that I could fill. I was doing the same thing in Dallas, and I just would much rather do that thing for my family.
And that's really when it took off. I mean, it's become unbelievable. Before the end of the year, we'll have 200 employees, and we started with 3. When Carrie Ann and Brent took it over, I think they were proud for their dad, and they wanted to call it Jasper Ventures.
All of the work that we've done to restructure Jasper Ventures was done so this company would be standing in the future. It's a family company, not just for my family, but for many families. And we would like for this company to be around 20, 30, 40 years from now.
Well, I think it's probably every dad's dream. Such a blessing to have them contributing and carrying on the legacy.
I want it to be known as the company to work for. I want our employees and their families to be happy, and that's what I want people to be able to say. Boy, when you walk in here, you feel a difference.
I really never thought that Jasper Ventures would be Jasper Ventures that would pass on to the next generation and the next generation. I just saw it as being something that would leave when Daddy left. And now it's something that can be in our family forever.
I've had a very gratifying career, and I wouldn't change anything in it. We dedicated the company to the Lord, and He's blessed it so richly that it's just been beyond anybody's imagination, especially mine.